Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Kevin Michel. I am back again with another video. If you do not know who I am and you're new to my page, I am a music producer, composer, singer-songwriter, and musician. And I've been tracking my journey with sync licensing, and it's been super fun. The past 6 months to a year, I've landed placements with Netflix, Peacock, Bravo, VH1, MTV, partnered with a few libraries, and again, it's just been super dope. So I've been trying to, make sure I track my journey and also share information with y'all as well. So if you're tuning in and you're into sync, thank you for checking out the page and the video. I hope this helps. So today we're looking at a cue that I did a little while ago. We're looking at the cue, but we're also looking, and our focus is the brief. If you don't know what a brief is basically a description of what either a music supervisor or a network or a music library is looking for to add to their catalog or to shop around. So they usually send these briefs out to their composers and producers who are partnered with them. So we're going to look at the brief and see what my approach was to making everything come to life in the queue. So let's do it. So this is not the actual brief, but this is like the description of what they were looking for. I copied and pasted just to keep, just for confidential purposes. But this is the description, what they were looking for. So positive instrumental music intended for trendy lifestyle brands, popular television, think fashion, cars, interior design, liquor, travel, etc. Track should have a happy, infectious pop piano hook with claps, snaps, modern production, synth heavy, guitar driven. And I think, we already mentioned pop piano. So we're basically looking for mid to high energy pop, synth heavy, guitar, and piano. So when I look, when I get a brief, I always think about one of the first things that I think about is the mood. So we have positive, right? So we already know if you're a musician, it's more major 1-4-5, 1-4-5 chord progressions. And again, pop piano, that's, self-explanatory. You're just making it really like stand out in the music. Again, happy. I'm just looking for descriptions and different instrumentations that they already are giving us. So again, it's positive, pop piano, synth heavy, guitar driven. So we have all of the things or like a baseline that we can kind of go off of. Claps and snaps, again, all of these things are great descriptions to get us started. So here's my cue that I came up with as brief. As you can see, like a million tracks, but I have the drums, synths, piano, bass, guitars. Again, a lot of these instruments were mentioned in the brief, so it's good that you could, visually see that I already have some of the things that they're looking for. All right, so I'm going to quickly play, each section of the song so you can kind of hear in context what my approach is to bringing everything to life. So that was the intro. And I would say just off of the first 10-15 seconds, we're already meeting a lot of the goals. Again, the claps and snaps were there. Piano was there. Guitar was definitely there, and it was definitely driving, the melody. I'm going to play the guitar and the piano by themselves so you can kind of hear in context. Cool. And I also had snaps in there. So again, in the first 10 seconds, you want to make sure you're meeting the brief, right? So you don't have to have all the instruments, but just make sure you have what they're looking for. So again, once they hit play, they're not, skipping through your track to find the element. They hear it the first, 10 seconds of the track. Again, you don't want to have too much, but you want to have enough where you pull them in. They've already know that you've read the brief and you're familiar and you know what you're doing. So again, the first 10 seconds we're already meeting a lot of these goals, which is really, really good. I actually don't even remember this cue, to be honest with you. It's been a while, so I'm kind of like not nervous, but I'm kind of like curious to see where I go with this. So I'm gonna play this next section. We're going into the A section, it looks like. So I'm gonna see how many instruments and what the dynamics are gonna look like with the cue. All right, so here we go. All right. All right, awesome. So, yeah, this sounds really good. Obviously the kick came in and the bass came in. It really filled up, the whole cue. So I'm gonna play like some of the elements that came in. I mentioned this in the hip hop cue video, where you want to, definitely have dynamics and different things coming in and out. So there's more dynamic in the song, and it just makes the song more interesting. So this bass guitar comes in like, 15 seconds in, which is good. This other guitar comes in. So again, that's like pretty cool. And then I think I was hearing this. It was like a hey shout chant. Again, that's that infectious, right? The high energy, fun. That type of feel. So I have this ad lib with the voices. Right. So that sounds good. And I will say another reason why you want to have a good amount of elements, because they may do that, like, because when you if your cue is selected for a show or whatever, they want to have flexibility. So not only your song has to have dynamics, just make sure you have things that complement what you have as a main melody, because they may not even use the main melody. They may just use what I just played with the bass and guitar, and that may just be enough. But if you're not, adding, more instrumentation and, things to make, the cue interesting, you'll lose out on an opportunity because you don't have too much. So I would definitely say, again, the first 10 to 15 seconds, you want to have a strong intro. And then, right after that intro, your A section got to really, kind of put everything together. But also within that A section, you want to have dynamics and different instrumentation, to make sure everything is interesting. So I had a pad here also as well that comes in about 27 seconds in. And the synth, again, we're meeting this goal, synth heavy. So I have all of these as synths and pads, and all of those things are in there. All right. So we'll move on to the next section. So it looks like I have like a section before I get to the B section, where it's just piano, drums, and kick, which is, I think, really dope. I don't remember doing this, but I could see why I did this because I really want the piano to stand out, and give a section, because with all these tracks, it is nice to pull back at some point too. So I went from this huge sound to three elements, which is like cool. So let's hear that in context. Okay, so in context, again, I pulled back everything, and make sure the transition effects are effective, because that makes everything smooth and it doesn't seem too abrupt. So this is the B section. We're going to the B section now. Let's see what that sounds like. So it sounds like my B section is like building to a whole different like B section, if that makes sense. So I brought in the piano again, it sounds like, but it is doing some type of arpeggiation. Where is it? So right here. So again, I think that my approach was to really make sure, the piano is like standing out, because again, one of the main, I do actually remember this brief. It was called like pop piano. Yes, infectious pop piano. So I definitely wanted the piano to be the main element and everything to kind of work around it. So I brought a different type of piano, just so if the first section's like, if someone's listening to this and they're like, I want the piano to do something a little different. Again, I'm giving you that because I'm making sure like the piano's doing other things. All right, so let's play everything in context, because it looks like I'm building towards like a really big part. So let's see what it sounds like. All right. All right. I'm actually like, I do not remember doing this, but it works. So this is still the B section, but I'm just building off of it. So remember, this is the melody, right? Off the B section. So now this is actually a whole new component. As you can see, the string part didn't play at all in the beginning. So now this is a whole new instrument or element that I brought in, which is, I think this is super dope. And then I heard the guitar. Yeah, there it is. So I heard the guitar again, guitar heavy. That's one of the key elements, right? Guitar driven. So along with the piano and synths, I want to make sure that the guitar is present as well. So let's see what that sounds like. All right, so that's there along with the bass, the synth bass. And so I think, yeah, it's going right into a more synth heavy part. All right, just so we know what's going on. Again, we are looking for a pop piano, guitar heavy, synth heavy, mid to high energy. So I start off with the A section or the intro. I start off with the intro with just the piano and snaps, and then I went to the A section. Then I pulled everything back with just the piano and drums, and then I go into the B section where I kind of do different things with the piano, and it's just not the same as the A section. It's the same, but like an alternative. And then I bring in the guitars, and now we're going into a more synth heavy a section in the B section. I hope I got all of that correct. But I think that's what we got. So here we go. Let's play everything in context going into the second part of the B section. All right, awesome. So as you can see, there's pads here. I heard the synths. So let's play those synths by themselves and see what they're doing. Awesome. And then I had the synth bass, or was it just a regular bass? Let's see what that sounds like. And as you can see, like a lot of the other parts are not even playing. So I think I just wanted the synth part to be subtle, but there, present, right? So the piano, is not there anymore. Is the guitar there anymore? No guitar, as you can see. This guitar's still there, though. So again, this is all just dynamics. All dynamics, understanding where to put things, placement. I think the better word is placement, right? Knowing where to place things. So it doesn't seem too loopy. It doesn't seem like I just played A section, B section, A section. Like I'm very intentional about what part is sticking out, and making sure everything blends. All right, so I think we're going back into the A section, and I think that it'll probably end right after that. Yeah. So we'll play that in context to see how everything comes together, and we bring everything back to the A section. Wow. I actually don't even use the sting anymore, the sting sound anymore, but I think it's definitely appropriate for what I was going for. So in context, what did I do? So coming out of the B section, I presented the same melody that I started with right in the beginning. I brought it back, but it sounds like, yep, I have some string parts here that were not present at all in the whole song. So let's hear how that sounds. All right, so I brought in the strings, and then the acoustic guitar. So I definitely was going for a guitar heavy, because I have electric guitar and then acoustic. So I brought the acoustic back in. It looks like it was in, I dropped it after the beginning of the B section, and then I brought it back at the end again. Placement, 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 placement is super huge when you're creating, these type of cues. So you want to make sure that you're giving them some possibilities when they're like cutting up the track to see what part fits where. So I think that is pretty much it. So again, I think reading this, I definitely feel like we met a lot of the goals. There's pop pianos, there's clap snaps, modern production. Yeah, definitely. Mid to high energy, definitely synth heavy, guitar driven. So I definitely think this is, to me. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I think this is meeting a lot of these goals. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, you want to make sure when you're getting these briefs that you're being very intentional about spotting the keywords, as I mentioned. So positive, synth, guitar, modern. Like you want to make sure you kind of like remember that when you're writing your cue, because this could have went left real fast. Imagine if I just went the hip hop way, because again, you got to remember it's pop, little things like that. You want to make sure you're remembering, because it puts everything together, and it gives you like a guide point on before you even touch the piano or touch, anything, any instrument, you kind of know going in what you're aiming for. So again, hopefully this was helpful. Just a disclaimer, my way is not the only way, but this is what works for me. And what has been definitely getting me more briefs, and definitely also just pushing me to be more intentional about writing cues. So again, hopefully this is helpful. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Until next time, be great.